Hey everybody, it's Kira and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing a really fun book tag, and that is the Julie and the Phantoms book tag. So this was created by Peyton over at Peyton Reads and Brittany over at Brittany and Books. So I will make sure to leave their videos in the description below, but they both fell in love with this show and so have I. I've become obsessed with it over the last few weeks, and so they have made some questions to go along with all of the characters from Julie and the Phantoms, and I'm super excited to talk about this show. Okay, so I just realized I didn't explain the show very well, so we're gonna try again. So it's about this girl named Julie who about a year ago her mom died, and she hasn't really been able to play music or like get into music since then. So one day when she's cleaning out her mom's studio, which was in their garage, she finds this CD called Sunset Curve. She plays the CD and these three ghosts appear. And so these three boys who were in this band called Sunset Curve died 25 years ago in 1995, but now can be seen by Julie. But when they play music together, they can be seen by everybody. And so they kind of end up helping Julie get back into music, and she ends up helping them, and they just form this like amazing band together, and they name their band Julie and the Phantoms. It's such a fun and cute show, and it really gives like High School Musical kind of vibes in the beginning, and then like near the end it just like hits you with emotions and you're like, oh my goodness, my heart. It's so funny as well. All of the characters are so hilarious, and the three boys together just like crack me up. And then all of the songs are jams. Like, there is no bad song on that album. It's just incredible. And so yeah, that's Julie and the Phantoms. I encourage you, please go watch it on Netflix so we can get a second season, because I need to know what happened after the cliffhanger ending of season 1, and I really just want more backstory for all of the characters. I need to know more about everybody. So that's a quick overview, so let's get into the questions and the characters. So the first question is Julie. Name a character that goes through a hard time but comes out on the other end stronger than ever. And Julie has my heart. She is just incredible. The actress who plays her is only 16, and she's so insanely talented. And Julie just comes alive throughout the series. You really see her character growth from the beginning of the season to the end of it. For me, like, it was really hard to pick a book because there's a lot of characters who end up like going through some sort of difficult time, but I ended up going with everybody really from Six of Crows by Leigh Bardugo. All of these main characters have some sort of struggle in their past that really tends to haunt them, no pun intended, and so they really have to like learn to live with and learn to grow from all of the things that have happened in their past. And it's interesting seeing their relationships just develop and change because of what they've gone through, and how they like all really like how many are there? 6 of them? All 6 of them like really help each other grow from everything. And honestly, like, the dynamic in Julie and the Phantoms does kind of remind me of the crew here in Six of Crows. Like, that kind of family bonding and like found family is so good. So I also just really love this book in general. Next up is Luke. Name a character who is more than what meets the eye. My favorite thing about Luke is his aversion to sleeves. It's so funny, but like, I appreciate it. Another thing about Luke though is that you really see him grow as you learn more about his backstory and what happened to him. And I like that Julie is able to like learn more about him, and therefore like her opinion of him changes a lot. So for this one I chose both Gideon and Sophia from their Fractured Light. I mean, really any of the characters from this series also is more than meets the eye, but both Gideon and Sophia are kind of like hiding themselves and putting up this front, both with each other and to the world in general. They come together as they're doing a heist together. Well, Sophia's in the middle of a heist and Gideon happens to be there, and they end up helping each other, and everything just spirals from there. It's such a fun book. I love their dynamic together and them like peeling back the layers of each other and finding out these connections that they have and these similarities that they have, very similar to what Julie and Luke end up doing with each other. So this book is just super fun as well. Next up we have Alex. Name your favorite comfort character. Alex cracks me up. My favorite, okay, I have a lot of favorite lines, but one of my favorite lines is this one.
So it has been 25 years? I have been crying for 25 years? How is that possible?
Well, you're a very emotional person.
I am not!
Like, it just gets me every time. And the way he goes, I am not! Like, he's super emotional there. Oh, it cracks me up. He's, like, so relatable. It's hilarious. So, for me, one of my favorite comfort characters is Laia from An Ember in the Ashes. I mean, you knew this was coming, but I love this book so much, and it's funny because I really relate to Laia, and there were a lot of ways that I didn't really realize until I was actually talking with my friend about this book, and, like, I was trying to say to her, like, I don't know why I love this book so much, and she kind of pointed out to me that, like, because Laia starts off in the beginning as, like, a more timid character and is, like, trying to find her own strength and boldness throughout it, and, like, by the end of the book, she, like, is there and has found it and, like, has this confidence. And that's kind of been, like, a lot of my journey just as a person is, like, when I was younger and in high school, like, I was not a very confident person, and I think through college, I've become more of a confident person. I'm still not, like, the person that's gonna go all crazy, but I have become more confident in, like, who I am as a person, and Laia just, like, provides that for me so much. Also, Laia and Elias and their love story just, like, gives me comfort in general, so I love this book so much. So that is 100% my comfort character. And then we have Reggie, the last member of the band of the core four, which is name your favorite comic relief character. So Reggie is just the absolute sweetest. He is so funny and cute and just all around adorable. He's kind of like the not as smart one of the group, but I don't think that ever takes away from just him as a person, and I mean, it gives him some of the funniest lines ever, and I really, really, really want to know more about his backstory and, like, what made him kind of decide to just, like, join this band in the 90s, and, like, how that all happened, and just everything about him is just super sweet, and I need him and the rest of Julie's family to be able to, like, actually meet each other, because him and Carlos would be so funny, and him and Ray are just, like, adorable, and I just love it, so I need more of that. Now, again, I had a hard time picking this one because I don't tend to notice, like, specific characters. I notice more dynamics that are funny, but I had really had to go with Aurora Rising by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and I mean, the whole squad of Squad 312 is so funny. I love their dynamic. So my answer for this is, like, Finn, but also because he's, like, the designated comic character. But I think also, like, all of them as a whole, like, their dynamic throughout both Aurora Rising and Aurora Burning, like, kill me. It's so funny. I love their dynamics so much, and, like, Scarlet feeds off of what Finn does, and Ari just, like, sometimes feeds into it, sometimes doesn't. And then you have Zila, who has those, like, little moments, and you're just like, whoa, didn't expect that from her. And Cal just, like, being super annoyed with everybody, and Tyler just being like, okay guys, like, stay on target here. Their everything just, like, gives me life. So my answer is Finn, but really the whole squad there. So next up is Flynn, and this is name a book with a strong female friendship. So Flynn is just the most ride or die friend for Julie, and Julie's the same way with Flynn, and that just makes me so happy. I love their friendship so much. She, like, as soon as Julie tells her about the band, she is just, like, on it. She's like, I'm your social media manager, I'm gonna book you all these things, this is what we're doing, and she's just, like, so funny and just always there for Julie, and I just love their friendship so much. Went with a pretty obvious answer, and, well, kind of obvious, I don't know, but that is Song Below Water by Bethany C. Morrow. The friendship in this book is, like, part of the central, like, element of the book. This focuses on two best friends, Tavia and Effie, and their, like, relationship with the kind of supernatural. This whole book deals with sirens and mermaids and just these sprites, and I don't know how to explain it. It's a very interesting book for sure, but their friendship dynamic, I mean, they're a lot like sisters in a lot of ways, and they think of each other as sisters too, which is really cool to see. Their friendship is, like, the foundation of the book. They understand each other and each other's problems well enough that they kind of know what the other needs before they even like say it, and so it's really cool to be able to read about that, and this book is just so interesting in that aspect. And then another quick answer for this one is the Gallagher Girls series by Allie Carter. The core four of this book, Cammie and her friends, I love them so much. So this is about a girls' school for spies that's a secret, and so the books start when Cammie is 12 and the other main characters are 12, and then kind of goes through to their graduation as these girls go on lots of like different kind of spy adventures. So Cammie and her friends Macy, Bex, and Liz all end up in like a really tight friendship, and they're very much ride or die, like gonna do anything for you, including kind of illegal trips out of school to go spy on the boy that you like, or to go on secret missions and find out what's really going on with this secret organization. They are total ride or die female friendships that I just absolutely adore. So next up is Willy, and this is name a book you would sell your soul for. Okay, so Willy is super cool and I really enjoy his character, and again, I want more backstory. Like I need more of him and like what happened to him to make him, I'm trying not to give spoilers, but like the situation that he ends up in. So I just need more of him, please. And as to books I would sell my soul for, I kind of have like 3 answers, so we're gonna go through them really fast. So the first one is Sky Beyond Storm by Sabatir. This is book 4 in the Ember series, and it comes out in like 2 months, but like I really need it now because I need to know what happens to my characters. So I have that one pre-ordered, so like really would I sell my soul for it right now? Probably not. I could probably wait a couple months, but I just really need to know what happened in this book. So the next one is the sequel to A Song of Wraiths and Ruin by Roseanne A. Brown, which is called A Psalm of Storms and Silence. And like, can we just, this cover is amazing. I just love this cover. It's absolutely gorgeous. And like the way that A Song of Wraiths and Ruin ended, like, what? I need to know what happens to these characters, and like I need more of it, and the world is so fascinating and it's so interesting, and I just like, yeah, I need more of it. So this one comes out I believe next summer, so again, have to wait quite a while for it. And then the third one is there's actually going to be a Julie and the Phantoms YA book. So that's, I have this written down so that I didn't forget. So that one's going to be written by Candace Buford, and it comes out fall of 2021, so it comes out next fall. But obviously there's no cover for it or anything yet, but because it just got announced. But I need to read that as well, and it would totally sell my soul for that one. So the next one is Caleb, and it says, name your favorite magical fantasy book. Caleb, I struggle with because he's got a flair for the dramatic, but he's not great. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen if we get a second season because of, again, the way things ended. So, and okay, I love fantasy, so it's really hard for me to choose like an answer to this question exactly. But I decided to go with The City of Brass by S.A. Chakraborty, and just like the David Bad trilogy in general. These books are so amazing, so incredible. They're very detailed, and the world is like so fleshed out, and it's even fleshed out in this book, and then you get like the other 2, and that just fleshes out the worlds even more. The characters of these books are so cool and amazing, and I love them, and they're very like complex and conflicted a lot of the time too, which is really cool to see and to read about and just like struggle with each character. It's just an amazing fantasy series, and I think it's seriously underrated, so if you haven't read the David Bad trilogy, please go read it. It's amazing. Alright, and then we have Nick, which is name a book you used to like but changed your mind about. I kind of feel bad for Nick, honestly. He seems like a good guy, but just the timing of everything isn't great. So for this answer, I decided to go with the Selection series by Kiera Cass. I don't know, I really enjoyed this series when I was younger, but I reread it earlier this year, and just like, I don't know, it just didn't really impact me. It's one of those like early YA series that I think was good at the time that I read it. I really enjoyed it, but it just, as I've read more widely and gotten older, it just like hasn't stuck with me as much as a lot of other series have. So I think that's my answer for this one. Then we have Ray, which is name a book with a supportive family/parents. Ray is the sweetest, and I need more of him in the second season. He is just amazing and so supportive of Julie and her music, and also of Carlos and his baseball too. So for this answer, I'm going with Little Women by Louisa May Alcott. It was just the first one that popped into my head with supportive parents. Marmee is just so amazing. She's one of the best like literary parent, I think. All of her girls like adore her, and it just like it comes through in the novel. And even like in the end when she's talking with Joe and like trying to talk through Joe's emotions, and she's just there for each of her kids, and she cares so much about like their neighbors, and she's just an amazing parent figure just overall in general. And then we have Carlos, name a book featuring ghosts. Carlos is so funny and cute, and him trying to figure out this whole ghost situation is so funny, and I need more of him. So for this answer, I'm going with The Raven Boys by Maggie Stiefvater. Really like the whole Raven Cycle series. I'm not going to tell why, because spoilers, but the like friend relationships in this book, in this series, again, really remind me of Julie and the Phantoms, because just like that love and found family between the four of them is so good, and just the bantering back and forth, and just like the absolute love that they all have for each other just totally shines through both in the TV show and in this series. Then we have Carrie, name a book that always seems to have the spotlight on BookTube. Carrie is so interesting because you're introduced to her as kind of the mean girl, but I think she's more complex than she lets on, and so I would be really interested in seeing that develop a lot more. So for this answer, I'm going with A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J. Maas. I mean, that was just the first one that popped into my head, but it is constantly talked about online. There's tons of people who love it. I don't know. I've never read it, and I'm struggling to figure out if I'm going to read it at some point or not. I don't have like a burning desire to read it, but I know that it's one that's like really talked about, and it would be interesting to read. So I might someday, but at the moment I have like no solid plans to read it. And then the last one is Bobby/Trevor. Name a series you trusted but ultimately let you down in the end. Again, fascinated with Trevor's storyline, and just need answers. I need answers. I just need a season 2 so I can get more things. But for this one, I'm going with the Maximum Ride series by James Patterson. I mean, if you know anything about Maximum Ride, you know that it's way too long. The thing is that like I don't tend to get disappointed by series a lot of the times. I quite enjoy most of the books that I read, and so even like series, I'll have ones that I didn't like as much, but for the most part I don't get disappointed by series, which is probably a good thing. But Maximum Ride just went on too long, and they've tried to get money out of it. It's just too much. So I think I stopped with Nevermore was the last one that I read. So I have like the first 3, and then there's like Max, Angel, and Fang are another 3, and then I think Nevermore comes right after that. I don't even remember the timeline of like what books come when. But the first 3 are the best books of the series, and then like things just got like super weird, and it was just like too much, and I was like, okay, just stop. And now there's another one coming up about Max's daughter, I think, or something. I don't know. I'm just like, just stop. You don't need more. You can stop at any time now. So yeah, that was the Julie and the Phantoms book tag. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you haven't seen the show, please go watch it. I'll link the trailer for the show in the description below. It's so good. The songs are incredible. The acting's amazing. Fun ghosts. Just like funny show. It's really tender and sensitive and cute and fun and just emotional and everything you could ever need in a show. So it's on Netflix right now, and please go watch it so you can get a second season. Thank you again to Peyton and Brittany for creating this tag. I'm not going to specifically tag anybody to do it, but just if you haven't seen the show, please go watch it. It's really good. So yeah, that's it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. If you want to follow me on social media, all my links will be in the description as always. So yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!